Good evening, TDN listeners and viewers, especially those of This Week in Interview. Welcome to another show episode of This Week in Interview with your host and guide, Anthony Drago. I hope you are having a wonderful week so far, and I hope it continues in the same vein. And if it's not so good so far, I hope it's improving. Wednesday, the hump day of the week, as I say it. Uh, it's my favorite day most weeks because I get to spend some time with some special guests and I get to share my conversations with you. In Dominica RVR Jams, radio carries this weekend interview live on DigiPlay Channel 59, and online radio SBE carries it live in the Toronto market. So good evening to you if you're listening to us on either one of those media. Um, any media that you're listening to us, welcome. And if you are a new listener this evening, I hope you like what you hear from us, what you share with us, so that you too can become a regular listener to This Week in Interview. And of course, the regular folks who come back every single Wednesday, welcome back. I hope you are enjoying your summer. We are in the middle of summer, in the throes of summer, as you can see, those hot days, July. Of course, if you are in Dominica or in the Caribbean, if it's not raining, it's a hot day, right? So what am I talking about? But those of us in North America and the UK and in the other places where we have the seasons, you know what I'm talking about. Welcome to you. Tonight we're talking about reunion, Casper's reunion, and the whole concept of reunion is just so much of a demonstration of how much we miss our homeland, the word homeland, where if we had a choice, maybe 90% of us would not leave our homelands, at least not on a permanent basis. We would not migrate permanently. We would go visit and come back. We would spend time and come back. We would go on adventures, whether education adventures or if we have to travel for health needs, but we would come back home. And but unfortunately, for whatever the reasons, we have not been able to manage the resources of our homes in such a way that would allow us to feel confident to stay in that place and thrive and have good and positive prospects for our children. And so we're forced and we find ourselves living in a strange land. But that connection, that tug back to our homeland only gets stronger as time goes on. And therefore, events are organized such as reunions that draw us back, and not just by ourselves. It's different if you just take yourself or your family and you go back home for a week, a month, a weekend. It's very different from when a reunion is planned and we go back and our neighbor goes back as well, and our schoolmates go back as well. Uh, our favorite cricketer is back at the same time. Our footballer is back. Our auntie, our uncle, and we get to taste a little bit of that slice of our childhood that we lose because right now we live in disparate locations. New York, Houston, St. Martin, Guadeloupe. And so every once in a while we connect, especially now with social media, but it's very different to gather back in that place where all our memories were created, hence the reunion. So you've guessed it, I am talking about the upcoming family and friends reunion of the Castlebrus Village. So Castlebrus Family and Friends Reunion 2025 under the theme C'est Place Nous. It's our place. We claim that. Even though I haven't officially lived in Castle Bruce since, wow, I'm going to date myself here. In 1978, I left Castle Bruce to go to the grammar school. And although I would go back on weekends and some summer holidays, I never really lived in Castle Bruce since then for any period longer than maybe a month at a time. Early when I used to do summer, but then soon I had summer activities that would that would keep me away. So I mean, officially, I haven't resided in Castleberry since 1978, but I still think of it as home. And so, as the reunion, the Castleberry family and friends reunion approaches, it is rushing at us. It feels like it's going to be tomorrow. It's actually on August 10th to the 17th. I've invited back um, my guest tonight, Ms. Jacinta Banis. I invited her back to bring you an update about where things are in the planning of that reunion. And so, without much further ado, let us bring up my guest. Jess, welcome back to this weekend interview. Welcome back to this conversation, this constant conversation that we have about the Casabros family and friends reunion. Let's update the audience. Let's let them know that it is still on if they don't know, and how excited that we are. So welcome, Jess.
Okay, thanks and good evening to all your listeners, and thank you for having me on the program this evening. Well, the buzz is out. The Casper's Family and Friends reunion will become a reality August 10th to the 17th. It's not our first reunion, it will be our third edition of that reunion. The first one was held in 2004, the second was in 2011, and here comes 2025. We are here with the third edition of the Castle Blues reunion. And I think everybody's excited, and there's a lot of buzz on the ground about other reunions as well. But we always say Castle Bruce is the mother of all reunions.
Casabros was what year was the first one?
The first one was in 2004.
That's a while back. Yes, yeah, that's
Yeah.
21 years ago. Yep.
Hmm.
And when you think of it, Dominica is what, in 2027 will be 50 years. So so almost half of the time that Dominica has been independent, almost half of
Right.
the time we've
Okay.
we've organized this reunion that brings our folks back. So talk about reunions. How is a reunion different from just maybe say a family deciding that they well we this year we're going back to Dominica.
Well, it's almost like a family reunion, just that you have a larger contingent of persons.
Hmm.
Whereas in a family, you may have maybe 30 or 40 persons coming to a family reunion. But with the Castlebrooks family and friends reunion, it's a village reunion. So
Right.
we're expecting various families and various friends from all over the world. We have, for example, in Dominica, we have families in Portsmouth, we have families in La Plaine, Grand Fond, maybe Paybush. So we want all of these people to join us during the Castlebrooks family and friends. That's why we call it Castlebrooks family and friends because there's a lot of connection. There's a lot of connection. Imagine today I met this guy who was he said his great grandmother was from Paybush. Then I said to him, that's where all Banisis came from. So we are spread all over. So the Castle Blues Family and Friends Reunion will welcome all of us to Castle Blues. So that's what makes it a little different.
Yeah. And for folks well, we still meet, especially nowadays, you meet some young people who say, where customers is again? Let's educate them about Castlebrooks. Let's tell them what our special place Castlebrooks is. Somebody asks you, describe your hometown. How would you describe
I
Castlebrooks?
would say to them, Castle Blues is nestled in the eastern side of Dominica. We are between the Emerald Pool and the Kalinago territory. Castlebruce, once upon a time, was also a Kalinago village. That's why its Kalinago name is Anskunori. It has a Kalinago name. Castlebruce was also one of the largest estates in Dominica. And I can remember growing up, you had persons from Marigot, from Granby coming to Castlebruce to work on those estates. Castlebruce was also a very strong fishing village. Growing up, I would go down. My stepfather was a fisherman. I would go down to the bayside. Sometimes we had to wait late hours for them to come in, depends on the catch. And we would count dolphins. We would count maybe a boat coming with 50 dolphins, another boat coming with 75. So there was a lot of movement. And Castleros, I would describe it as a farming community. You were a fisherman, but you're also a farmer. So and then we grew, well, banana was the thing. So everybody had their little maybe 3 acres of land growing banana as their livelihood. That's all that they did. They grew the bananas. I mean, you intercrop it with other things like Tanya and Dashin. So Castlebrooks was like a bread basket. People would come to Castlebrooks for breadfruit. They would come to Castlebrooks for, the hucksters to get produce.
Yep.
It was a thriving community. Even when there was the boxing plant, people would come to gather the I wouldn't call it the waste banana, but those that were rejected. People would come and carry that back to their homes in the city or outside of the city. So Castle is well known for food, for agriculture, for we didn't do much cassava. I just remember maybe two families doing cassava for in. And there was lots of mangoes. There was a lot of scrupine. I remember when the grand people would come to Castle Bruce, they would go back with loads of scrupine. So there was a lot of things happening in Castle Bruce. And during my childhood years, Castle Bruce had the largest fair. People would come from all over Dominica to Castle Bruce for that Chesa feast and the fair. We had the fair. And then you'd find it wasn't buses, it was trucks. Trucks were lining up from Glue Glue way down to Mount Bodlame, by the bayside.
Hmm.
Castle Bruce, I think we are the village with the most water that surrounds us. We have the river in Richland, we have the Senos River, we have the Maclacan River, we have the what do you call it,
The
Livel
Wakama,
or
we
the
have
Belfi River.
Belfi River, we
Yeah,
have
so we are
Libello.
surrounded
Hmm.
by a lot of water. But the frustration is right now, with all this river, we have problems for water, for pipe-on water in the home. So that is an issue we want to take up during the reunion as one of the symposium discussion. So
Right.
in a nutshell, Castlebrooks has been a very, which sometimes we would call it the land of cooperatives. There were maybe 10 or 15 cooperatives, when I was growing up. So, and there was a lot of action, the social league, the church group, the Boy Scout, the Girl Guides. There was a lot of movement and a lot of conversation was taking place. So I would say during the 70s, those were my days. I enjoyed the 70s.
Yeah. And 70s, I was just coming into my own, because I was born in 67. So I
Mm.
remember I remember the 70s. I also remember the 80s vividly. But in my memory of Castlebrooks is that Castlebrooks, like a lot of other communities, was a fully contained village. Everything we needed we could find in Castlebrooks, especially when we started when we got our own credit union.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only thing that was missing from my early childhood memory. Um, Customers did not have a credit union, so we didn't have a banking, let us say. But we had everything else. We had a community hall, we had our playing field, we had really good schools, we had early childhood education, we had we had culture, we had
Oh my
music.
God.
um, I remember growing up, our youth. I have to give that story. I'm the last in the family, so my older siblings were considered youth, so they were part of the youth group. And the youth group used to go to different villages and put on performances or play cricket. And I want to
Mm.
go, and my mother would tell me, "Upon youth,
You're the baby.
you're a child, upon youth, you cannot go." But I remember our cricket teams, our football teams, basketball came later, but our cricket teams, our
Mhm.
football teams, our rounders teams used to go out to the other villages, and they would not go by themselves. They would go with supporters, and they would come back. And if they win a match,
Rejoicing,
yeah,
rejoicing.
if they win a match, even before you see the light of the truck coming back up, you hear in the loud
and,
way,
and then the
Nukweve
truck
you,
blowing the horn, the
and the
horn
truck
will be
is blowing.
blown, yes.
Exactly, exactly. That kind of a totally fully contained village. Of course, we thought we had issues, but when you look at the issues that we had compared to now,
That was minimal.
exactly. And so the reunion, what the reunion does, it gives us an opportunity to have those conversations for our benefit, for nostalgia, but
Mm-hmm.
also to share with the younger people what it was like and what is possible. Because I went back, I was back in Casablanca in February, and the village is almost a shell of what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but all the resources are still there, you
Of
know.
course.
So if we could do it then with less tools at our disposal and less knowledge at our disposal, it I'm sure it can be done. It can be done again. So let's talk about the reunion, Jess, because the reunion gives us a chance to get back together and to have celebration, to have parties and to fete. But that's not the only aspect of the reunion, right? The reunion has
No.
other aspects to it, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, on the, as I said, I put out a post. I said we don't only see war, but we try to educate as well. So Sunday the 10th, that's our first day of activity. Although prior to that, the Saturday night, we didn't put it on the program, but there'll be a meet and greet where we can, just socialize, with each other that Saturday evening, because I think it will be the full moon. So we want to enjoy the full moon and maybe do a little game, the little one, to enjoy ourselves. So on Sunday we start with an ecumenical service, and we are hoping to have two of the pastors from the evangelical churches to celebrate with us during that time, and also to have the worship team to do the singing.
Hmm.
Then after the ecumenical service, we will have the official opening of the reunion. And the official opening, well, we have invitation sent out to many persons, government officials and other diplomats, scouts, guides, other groups in the community, to ask them to join us for the opening ceremony. Following the opening ceremony, maybe from 3 about 5, then at 7 o'clock we have a gospel concert. And most of the artists for the gospel concert, either they are from Castle Bruce or they have roots in Castle Bruce. So this is going to be a very enjoyable moment. We want to make sure everybody gets something out of the reunion. So that is for Sunday. Now on Monday, as I said, it's not just CO and having fun. On Monday, we are going to have the symposium. Some people are wondering, why such a long symposium? It's not going to be long. We have different topics that we are going to highlight. And the sessions will be like 2 hours per session, 2 hours each session. Our first session from 10 to 12 will be on agriculture and food security. We are hoping to have the director of agriculture, whose father is from Castlebruce and who also lives in Castlebruce. Kian Stevenson. We also have Mr. Billy Sanderson, who's going to talk about investing in agriculture from Castlebruce also. We are hoping to have Sister Nats to talk about food security, eating healthy, and how can we prevent, NCDs. And we are hoping to have Mr. Atherton Martin. Hopefully, we would like to have him to talk about from landless farmers to landowners, and to talk a little about the Castlebrus experience, or what we call sometimes in Castlebrus, we say the Castlebrus revolution, when the estate was taken over by the villagers, and today most of the villagers are landowners. That's how they became landowners. So that is a story by itself, which some young people don't know anything about. Their high school is there, but they do not know how the high school became part of the estate settlement. There are farmers there. Some of them may not even know how their parents obtained land. So that is an issue, although we said the time is short, but it's something that we can move forward with, later down to do it in the schools, explain to the kids, the history of the estate and stuff like that. So this is for the agriculture session from 10 to 12. Then we move into another session on climate change and the environment from 12 to 2. This session is very important because people think climate change is just a talk or a joke. But looking at Castlebrus, we can see evidence. You go down to the beach and you see all of this sargassum covering the beach. Farmers are impacted, tourism is impacted, the last flood, when the last flood came in, my whole life I had never seen water on the stretch. And from the video that I saw with logs of wood, on the stretch and water and everything. So that is to say to us that something is happening in the environment. And there was a big land slippage in Monduku. I don't know if you remember where
Yeah,
Mr. Alfred has his farm, Roy Alfred.
yeah, I know Monduku. Well, focus.
Right, that whole piece of
Younger
land
people
just came
wouldn't. Yeah.
down.
Hmm.
So that those are true examples of climate change and how it impacts the environment. So that is the second session we're going to have. And then the first session will be on entrepreneurship. We have invited Mr. Adrian Banis from Banis Farm. They're doing some good products with plantain and bananas
And
and
breadfruits.
breadfruits.
Yeah. Hmm.
Afi George has started a little business with chocolates. We have invited him. And Iola George will talk about communications, for small business.
Hmm.
And we also have an NCCU rep to talk about small business financing. Then we have this topic on water where Mr. Anthony Drago will be both moderator and panel. And we have invited Mr. Gomez Drago from the Wasco and Miss Otisha Paul, because sometimes you hear villagers saying how it impacts upon their way of life. So we want somebody to talk to us as to how is it that water impact, your way of life in terms of, going to work on time, in terms of doing your house chores and stuff like that. So the impact of water and the necessity of water to a community. And this fifth topic is on culture and society. I have been hoping that our historian, Dr. Lennox Hornichus, would have responded, but I haven't heard from him yet. To talk about the history of castles. It is so interesting when I heard about the history of castles a few years ago. And I wish more people could learn about it. We are here, but how did we get there? That's important for us to know. And Dr. John Johnson, he will talk about how religion has been part of our heritage. And Miss Marian Johnson, who is a cultural, person, to talk about how do we keep the culture from generation to generation. And I think I'm going to moderate this session. The sixth session is on sports. Council Robert will moderate that. Council has been a recipient of a sports scholarship, and he has agreed to moderate that session. So we want to talk about Castle Bruce as with a multi-purpose facility, to harness the talent of young people. Not only Castle Bruce, but the areas, let's say from the northeast to the southeast. Right now in that area, we have Premier League team like the Southeast Football Club. You have the East Central. You have Wu United. So there's a lot of potential for sports, in that area. So, but the facilities are inadequate. So we want to talk about that,
Hmm.
and also to talk about scholarships, for young people. That's why the guy you spoke to. I met him today, and he said he'll be happy to come. Maggie
Maggie
Dunstan,
Peters. Hmm. Maggie Johnson.
right? Peters. And on that panel will be Ron Green, because Ron has been involved in sport for umpteen years. We have Claudia Sanford, who will talk about. He said he used to be a teacher at the Castlebrose secondary, and the Castlebrose secondary is doing very well because I could not get Mr. He's on vacation. The coach, Mr. Stanton Seraphin.
Mm.
He would have loved to be there, but he couldn't. So I had to call Mr. Claudius to see if he can fill in there. And then we have Lauren Barnes Robert. You know, Lauren is a avid netball player to talk about sports tourism, how sports can impact or help tourism in the at the community level. And you know that Castles has a small community tourism organization. So all of that can help to boost, sports tourism in the area. Now the last session we have is called, but it will be on the Friday. It's a financial literacy session. Mr. Lambert Lewis has agreed. I want him to talk about investing and debt and credit management. And Miss Alicia Nation, who lives in Houston, but has agreed to be there to talk about money management. And NCC rep also to talk about small business financing. So I'm looking forward to the symposium a lot because we want people to live, with a clarity of thought or of mind. Because after those sessions, we do not just want to have the sessions, but for example, we can talk about if we have fun, we can set a startup. People want to start a small business. We'll continue to raise funds, to assist in those areas. For example, how do we assist the school in terms of recycling? Because under the climate change session, we have a presenter, Ms. Brittany Etienne Abraham, who will talk about, getting young students involved in environmental activities like recycling and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I am hoping that at the end of the presentation, we will have all the presentations together and probably document something that we can use for future activities in the community because we really want to revitalize Castle Bruce as, a community. So that's for the symposium.
Right. So, I mean, the whole idea, I think, of the symposium is to really bring education, but get an interaction with the villagers so we can understand more clearly where their needs are, and we can see what resources those of us who are no longer resident in the community, how we can match what the people in the community needs with the resources that we have. And I really like the idea of that because we may have an idea based on when we were in the village so long back then, and
Mm-hmm.
those needs would have changed. So
Sure.
activities at the symposium, and I hope not just at the symposium where it's in a formal, organized way, but throughout the reunion, we have those interactions that sort of will understand what the community needs. And like for me, like boats don't pull into Castleberry's Bay anymore. You were talking about the number of boats that used to go out and the amount of fish
Right,
we used to
right.
catch, and we no longer have boats coming in. Now, when I heard that, I was shocked, and my first reaction is we have to do something about that. But that may not be a need of the people anymore. In our mind, it might be, and maybe when we talk to them, we might confirm that it is. But we cannot just assume
No.
that it is because of our experience and our history. So interactions like that is what we hope to have in the formal session of the symposium, but also in the informal session, a chat between, say, myself as a water engineer and and a housewife that's struggling to cook food for her family because there's no pipe-borne
No
water,
water. That's
and
so true.
the rivers that are not as pristine where they were, so you can't just go dip your bucket in the river and come on back with water
No more. No
anymore.
more. No more.
Exactly. So we're hoping to have that kind of interaction that we can leave the village for better understanding of what is required in a 2025, 2030
Mm-hmm.
Castlebrus to bring it back to being a vibrant and a place where what we enjoyed as kids, the current crop of young kids should be able to enjoy it as well as, because I think Cash was one of the best places to have grown up. Um, I'm biased, but I mean, I know Casablanca was absolutely one of the best places to live and to grow up as a young
Yeah.
boy, definitely. So it's 8:32, Jess. So it's perfect time to take a break. And we've dealt with kind of like the serious business. When you come back, we're going to
Yeah. Talk
continue
about the yes.
the what's
Useful
happening for
part.
the rest
Yeah.
of the day,
Entertainment. Yeah.
culminating into a massive weekend of Fête Casabros, Chenzaou.
Mm-hmm.
If you spend time in Guadeloupe, you might say 15, but it's
Okay.
simply
Chance. Chance.
August 15th. August 15th
Right. That is the gospel's date.
all roads lead to Casabros. So let's take a
Right.
quick
Chance.
break,
Okay.
and when we
Thank
come back,
you.
we'll continue this. Okay,
Mhm.
stay tuned, listeners.
Yep.
Presented by Presented by People say I've got a great smile. Well, I have to say, this is all thanks to the professional team at Beacon Dental Group right here in Dorchester, Massachusetts. I've got world-class dental care. Beacon Dental Group has expert and caring staff dedicated to providing the most advanced and satisfactory treatment in all aspects of oral health. Their services are designed to meet your needs and give you a perfect smile, too. General checkups, cosmetic surgery, Gemini laser service, and advanced procedures, all in a state-of-the-art facility. Call or visit Beacon Dental Group today, 1026 Blue Hill Avenue, Dorchester, Massachusetts, or call 617-282-2146 for a smile that lights the world.
Hey y'all, I just discovered an amazing plugin called Joan, Jock on Air Now, for managing my radio station's on-air schedule. It keeps your visitors updated on what's playing and when their favorite hosts are live. Trust me, Joan is the best choice for your WordPress site. There's a free version available in the WordPress repository and it's definitely worth trying. If you want even more features, Joan Premium lets you easily edit your schedule with just a click. No need to delete and re-add shows. Don't miss out on Joan. Get it now from the WordPress plugins repository or visit the developers at gndenterprisesinc.com for more info.
Looking to promote your business, engage current customers, and reach new people? Well, look no further. From the basic presentation to a fully fledged advertisement, use your video ads to attract customers. At Man's Audiovisual Productions, we do just that. We produce videos for business and event promotions, product demo videos, animated explainer videos, fundraiser ads, and much, much more. Engage your clients and sell online. We customize the video to match your brand design. Guaranteed to play flawless on all devices, including smart TVs. Contact us at telephone number 203-690-4342 or 767-245-6238. Visit our website, mansaudiovisual.com. or email us at derekvideo@gmail.com.
Writers, we need you. We've got exciting news. Get ready to immerse yourself in the exciting world of words at the Write to Kubuli Virtual Literary Festival. From September 15th to 20th, 2025, we're showcasing the incredible talents of writers of Dominican descent. Join us for inspiring panels, thought-provoking workshops, captivating readings, all from the comfort of your own home. You can engage with your favorite authors, participate in workshops, and dive into discussions that spark your intellect and imagination. You don't want to miss out on this vibrant celebration of culture and creativity. Make sure to save the date, September 15th to 20th. Follow us on social media for updates. Let's hashtag Write to Kubuli together. We're trending. Register now.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Right to Kubuli. Save that date. Remember that date, September 15th to the 20th. It's a virtual uh, literary festival where if you're a writer, just I know you have a book that you plan to released during the
Mm-hmm.
reunion. So you should check it out. There's a registration form if you go onto the I think there's a YouTube channel, there's a Facebook page, Right to Kubuli, and we can feature your book can be featured there. You as a writer can be featured in there. So
Okay,
check it
okay,
out, listeners. Poetry, non-fiction,
okay.
fiction,
Thanks for the information.
short form. Yeah, I think it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful event. If you need
Mm.
more information, you can always I'm part of the organizing, so I can give you that as
Okay,
well.
good.
Yeah. Also, folks, you saw that first commercial, Beacon Dental Health. You know that's straight out of Casabras. That dental service is owned by a son of the soil and his family, Cuthbert Joseph and his family. That's their dental um, facility, the
That's
dental
it.
media center, and they produce world class dental service there. Everything is done there, whether it's oral surgery or orthodontist or periodontist or your regular dental um, checkup. I've had all my services done there. I've had bone graft. Um, I've had root canals, fillings, crowns, a lot of periodontal service. I drive from New York to Boston for the
Oh,
service, not because it's family. It's just
that can
because.
help you.
Apart from that, though, it's just really and truly their service
Good
is,
service.
yeah, top
Good.
class, first class.
Mhm.
I have been to a few in Roseau, in New York and Boston. Hands down, Beacon Dental Health is absolutely the best clinic I've been to ever.
Wow.
Yeah, they do everything. They're specialists.
Kudos to Colbert
Yeah,
and family.
really proud when you go in there. You feel like you're in Castle Rose because Cuthbert is there, his sister is there, his kids are in there, his nieces, nephews, cousins, and of
Wow.
course, and then you have his daughter actually just graduated from dental
Yeah,
school,
I saw that. I saw that.
so she's
Mhm.
part of the staff as well. So Castle Rose, I mean, and that's the whole point about about reunions and this type of events is that there's all these resources and
Mhm.
we achieve and perform on the highest stage anywhere in the world.
We
We can
do.
hold our own, and you know what else? In our hearts, we are more than willing to bring that home and to have our people benefit from it. But somehow we've not been able to put those two resources together sufficiently for our people's benefit. And we're hoping that events like the reunion can
Can do
actually
that.
crack that, yeah, and someone
Mhm.
that hurdle so we can do that. So for example, myself, I work in construction and manage construction projects, and I watched the incident at the grammar school, the construction that was going on and the collapse, and I'm like,
Mhm. Mhm.
it hurt, it pains to see that's my that's my alma mater, that's my school. And I mean, I cannot from a distance say what the cause of the incident is,
Right.
but I can pretty be sure that if somebody like me was involved in the execution of the project, stuff like that is unlikely to happen. Accidents happen, and I'm not pointing fingers
Yeah.
at no one, but I'm just
Mhm.
saying that I guess what I'm saying is that I wish there was some way I could lend a hand to see, what's happening, why it happened, how can you prevent it from happening? Because I'm telling you, if I had a child or a grandchild, I would not have my child occupy that building
Mhm. Mhm.
before a comprehensive report of understanding what happened. You know,
Right. Right.
um, catastrophic failures like that demand investigation. But I'm just saying that reunions like what we're going to have, uh, it, apart from coming together and partying and having a good time, we hope that we can contribute. I hope that I can really dig into why a village like Castlebrus that's surrounded by some of the biggest rivers in Dominica,
Rivers. Rivers.
why do we have issues with pipe-borne water? you
Mhm.
know and you in your history of education, your history with cooperatives, your history with agriculture, I'm sure you would love to see a group of young Casperus women. I say Casperus, I mean it can go from La Plaine
Yeah. Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Calinado, come together and you can help them to be able to organize themselves, because that's your expertise,
Mhm.
um, to successfully collaborate and see benefits from it. And so, we can only hope that the weather cooperates, that the people cooperate, and that we have a successful reunion.
I'm looking forward to that too, Tony, because there's a lot that can come out of it. As you talk about the women in agriculture, because women can sustain the community in terms of food security. Right?
Yeah,
While men basically they grow food more for like outside sale, like the bananas were being sold, but the women can consume the food that will provide nutrition to the community, to
exactly.
the children,
Hmm.
and feed the elderly. So there's a lot that we can do in terms of agriculture to bring back agriculture to a level where we can sustain it ourselves.
Yeah, yeah, and that point you make is so important. That synergy between the role of the women, because women, have also the nurturing of the family more in their court, and so
Mm-hmm.
while the men
Mm-hmm.
can go out and fish for the whole day, they can leave at
Mm-hmm.
5 o'clock in the morning and come back at 6 in the evening. The women
Mm-hmm.
have to run to a garden, do some weeding, and come back
Yeah.
and take care of the kids. So they will do the
Right.
sweet potatoes, they will do the okra, they will do the
Right. Do
pudding,
the yeah.
yeah, and so they provide the food for the family, and the men are out there doing the heavier,
Looking for the cash crop.
the cash crop. Yeah, 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 yeah. And that works so well. That dynamic works so well.
It
Um,
does.
so we can capture that again. But let's continue the schedule. We were on the Tuesday. Um,
We yeah, on a Tuesday we have the tour. We have a bus tour, maybe to the Emerald Pool and I think Red Rock. I don't know where else people want to go, but those are the tours. There'll be two tours going out. And
right.
those who cannot go out, I'm organizing a village tour.
That
And
is
the
so
village,
cool.
huh?
I said that is so cool. You
Yes,
know.
I want to do a village tour starting from Wakama. You know Wakama up by that end.
Hmm.
And well, from my childhood days, the first dispensary was in that area by Matom. The first post office that we grew up with was by Matom. So we can
Hmm.
stop there, look at the building where we used to come for our health services.
Oh,
And if that
so before they did the dispensary by my barber, they had one by my Tom, or is that the same one we're talking about?
no, the same one we're talking. It was above Matom's house. House was below, and then the on the road to Wakama was the little dispensary.
Okay, so I
I mean,
didn't
it
meet
was
that
a
one. The
very
one I
little
the one
building.
I met was the one above the Salford house. Remember this dispensary right there?
I didn't know about a dispensary by Miss Alfred.
Yeah, that's where like when you used to go get your injections, that's where they used to have it.
Oh well,
Um,
mine was by Matom.
around where Anwar, I think Anwar eventually built his house in that spot.
Oh,
Yeah, that there was a
okay.
little dispensary right there.
All
I
right,
remember it because obviously it's my grandmother yard, but I
right.
remember it right there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then on that tour, we will stop by Dada's house, where Dada was 107 years old
Right.
when she died before she passed. That's your grandmother.
That's my grandmother, my
Yeah,
maternal
so we
grandmother.
want to make a stop there. And also, that's where the first nurse that we knew, Nurse Marinese Alfred,
Right.
lived in that area. And then we go lower down. There were little shop like Mawelby had a shop on the hill.
Right.
Mr. Felix had a shop on the other side. That Mr. Felix Roberts.
Yeah, he used to
And
have a
then
hall. He used to have jumping
right,
dances
I
and those
danced
things there,
there.
right? Yeah.
That was hot like a cave, man. We used to dance there.
Used to go to that. I remember that. Teacher Delna was right
Right.
there. One of the best teachers in the village. Teacher
Oh, you
Delna was
always
right
talk
there.
about Tony. You always talk about your teacher there. So
Teacher
teacher
Delna made
there
an
house is
impression on
right
me
in that
right there.
area
Hmm.
there.
Hmm.
And then we moved on. We go
Teacher
down.
Solange.
Teacher Solange,
Yeah.
our principal. I worked with her during her 10 years principal of the Castleville School. I started teaching with her as
Hmm.
the principal.
Right.
And then lower down, most of the land around that area there is the Locust land. You remember they used to call it
Right.
Locust land?
Uh-huh.
Right. So the Locust own a lot of land in that area. And then the significant now is the cross. You remember there was a
But
cross?
before you get to the cross, don't forget Teacher Neva. Neva Edward
Oh, Diva
became this. She
Edward,
became the
yes,
Speaker of the
yes,
House of
right. She
Dominica.
became the Speaker of the
Her
House.
home is
Yes,
right
the
there as
House
well.
was.
Yeah, right there.
And right, so we have some history in
And
Castleberry.
you cannot skip the Bannister's house where the disco
Oh,
and
Mr. Mado was one of the first dispenser.
dispensers. Yeah, yeah.
Right, and Vendo was also on the village
Entrepreneurial.
council.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I mean we danced at Vendo's place, and Vendo, to me that was the first woman in Castleberg. I think that was driving. I'm not sure, but she was one of the early female drivers because she used to
Driver.
drive to the boxing plant to sell cakes. She was
Right.
hardworking. She would
She
farm
was
on her
entrepreneurial for
farm.
sure. For
Yes,
sure. Very
she would
enterprising lady.
farm. Yes, and
Yeah.
then she brought this big food truck. I think the first food truck I know in Dominica was for Venu.
Right.
Right.
And
And then
then we get to the cross. Then I'll allow you to go to the
when we
cross.
get to the cross, remember Papi had a shop, Papi had a church?
Well, not in Google, but we're talking about CUM Church right opposite
No,
Mount
no,
Raphael.
no, no. By my Raphael. There
Mount
was a church
Raphael
on the
there.
other
Yeah.
side where the
Yeah.
first cross was. Papi's church was there, Pilgrim. That was the
Pilgrim,
first
right.
church.
That's my brother got married. Alfred got
Okay,
married
that
that
was the
church. Yeah.
first
Mhm.
Pilgrim church. And
Okay.
around that area now, you have the road leading to Tipie.
Right.
So Tipie, you have people like Lazo was born in Tipie,
Lazo, yeah, international
Lauren
reggae
was born
artist.
in
Yeah.
Tipie,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. John Finn was born in Tipie, and then you
This
had where we went to catechism as a child was by Mahawil.
Mahawil, yeah.
You would put up all yes, well. So we went to Mahawil. And we also had Pius Banis from Toronto. He was an immigration judge.
Right. And 1 year he got the
An award.
Federal Employee of the Year. So
Right.
when we
That's
talk about the TPA seems like it had something special about TPA because we have Dr.
yep,
John Field, we had Lauren that became the UN ambassador
ambassador.
to Dominica. We have, like
Mm-hmm.
I say, Pius Banis. We have
Right.
Lazo,
You have
international reggae
Lazo.
star. We have Breaker
Right.
of Gaylord's Power
Right.
Union, international superstar. That little area we call in TPA
TPA,
produced quite
TPA.
yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
And I
You
think there
know,
were a couple of policemen that also came from
that
TPA.
came from there,
Mr.
yeah.
the John
Slash,
Finman had some policemen.
right.
Mr. The Lloyd, I don't know whether they grew up in TPA. Mr. Jerome Lloyd, Joey Lloyd's father, but I know they
Right.
have property around TPA area.
TPA area, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so lots of things
yeah.
happening in TPA.
TPA was small, but that's something special in
Yeah,
also
yeah,
over there.
it was
Yeah, yeah.
powerful. Okay, so then now after that cross fell, after Hurricane David, then they built another cross on the other side of the road.
Oh, yeah. Looking towards Google, looking towards
Right, so they
Alexis.
built
Yeah.
another
Uh-huh.
cross there. But what is the story behind the cross?
I don't know. I
Because
heard you.
people say that anytime they pass in Wabin Paja, they would feel funny.
Uh-huh.
There was this talk about seeing Jumbie or seeing Kuffer and Elijah Bless, all in that area. So I don't know. They say based on that
That
they
little valley there was always dark.
that
I
Mount
remember,
Medora coming down.
yeah, I remember I was a little boy and I used to go by Mamado disco and walking back up to St. House and it was just pitch black. When
Mm-hmm.
you reach down in that valley, so it's a downhill, and then you had to cross the ravine and you go back up the
Right,
hill, Maminwell. It was just
right.
always so dark. You could, if you
Funny,
put your hand in
funny.
front of your face, you just wouldn't see your hand. And
And then sometimes people change their shirt inside out,
right,
to
right,
lave, to ne lave,
to Elave.
just
But
to pass through that area.
there was one of the biggest stories in the village was that there was some kind of murder that happened, whether it was accidental or otherwise, that happened at that spot. And so a lot of
Mm.
folklore is surrounding by that area. But I can
Oh,
tell you, in the dark, as brave as I was, and I wasn't afraid of that. Just when
people
I
are
reached,
always afraid to pass
I
Moabin
I would
Pajaj.
sprint up that hill until I reach my baby sin. You can take a relaxed breath.
Oh my God, Tony, that was
Yeah,
so funny.
yeah.
And then you go up Mount Medora and you end up by Mr. Walton Shop. Remember
Mr.
Mr.
Walton
Walton
Shop.
Shop?
But
Right.
and
And
don't skip Solomon, who was the
oh
environmental
yes,
health
he was
officer in
in Roseau.
Roseau.
When
He
Solomon was in Roseau, Roseau was
Rosa
clean.
was clean. He was the one that police Rosa and make sure that Rosa was
Mm-hmm.
clean and people didn't litter and people didn't.
Right. I wish there was a Solomon in Roseau now.
He certainly missed. So his home was right there.
Right there, yeah,
Yeah, as
Solomon. Oh
well.
my God, Casmus has produced some wonderful people.
Casablanca has shown a lot of leadership
Yes, and
in
then you go
Dominican
down
here.
by Maboye area
Right.
because we had one of our police officer, Mr. Rivelus, not Rivelus, but Mr. Boye's son was one of the first set of policemen that I can remember.
Okay.
River, they used to call him River, St.
River,
Rose.
St. Rose. Okay.
Then you go down by Boto. Boto used to have an exchange, a telephone exchange by her in
Oh,
the early
really?
days. I cannot. I wish they had those old phones back. There was an exchange right there.
I didn't know that. I know what
Yes.
I know. Like there was a phone by Mr. Austria, and people would like even like my brothers in St. Croix when they want to talk to my
Mm-hmm.
mother, they would call, and then somebody would come and take a message, and my mother would go down,
Mm-hmm.
and then they would call back to get their phone
I
call.
think
That
there
was
was
by
one by
Mr. Austria.
Polo. By Polo had one too.
Polo. Okay.
Polo had a
Yeah.
phone.
And I guess Jalisco maybe used to go I'm a Tom, but St.
Yeah,
Louis
or
people used to go
yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Austria.
Because
Yeah.
there were not many phones,
Polo.
in the village.
Yeah.
I don't know. They used to call
And in the
his
police station. Yeah.
gramophone or whatever.
Yeah.
And
You
then
remember
Mr. Austria on the hill had one, or had
Mr. Austria
maybe the
had
baby
one.
shop.
Yeah. Mr.
And
Austria
then
was an early entrepreneur and a
right.
very philanthropic individual.
Especially when
Almost,
his wife was not there. We could get anything.
Castro's people were bad because the lady was not originally from Castlebrooks. And I guess Mr. Austria was a generous man, so his wife had
Yeah,
to make
so
sure he didn't give away
when
the
she go
shop.
on vacation, well, we were at large. Everybody gets something.
And he was so generous. Everything he organized in the village, he was
Oh
very
yeah,
willing
he
to
sponsored Mr.
sponsor
Austria.
and to
And
contribute to
bless
Castro.
his soul, his son just passed,
Augustus,
Augustus.
yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
one in Calibishi, that was his son.
that was his son, yeah.
Yeah, and then higher up would be Senos and Emzol, but then you go down to Google, you go up to Lodbo. Lodbo means other side, the other side of the river, Lodbo.
Lord Bo, uh-huh.
Yeah,
But
but
don't
Lodbo
forget
was an extension of the estate. That's
of
the
the
estate
estate,
reach right by that river there, Senos River.
Senas River. Okay, don't forget the little house by Muscovin. My mother used to have a
Oh,
preschool,
Estita had the church, the
but more
preschool.
importantly than that, or just as importantly, that's where we used to go to movies.
I
Remember?
danced there too, on
You're right.
the
That was the
mansion.
first
What is it? Meters
community hall.
combo. I
Meters
don't know how
combo,
we
yeah.
danced in that little place, man.
Meters combo and green apples. Remember they used to have green
Green
apples.
apples. I remember Rudette, brother Rudette,
They used to have.
40
I remember
and
they used to have their uniform was an orange. They used to have a bright orange jeans,
so, so they
Dungaree
have good
jeans.
memories, man. Man, I danced to those meters
Because my
combo.
brothers were involved in that. Alfred was involved in that.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and then later when they had hoops in,
Joe was involved
Joe
in
was in hoops in.
Hoopsin.
Joe and Leroy
Yes,
and those
yes.
guys used to be in
Hoopsin
hoops in.
was a nice little
Yeah.
band.
But
Jeff and John
remember,
and all
Will
those
Frank
guys.
Will Frank used to bring movies, and on a
Oh,
Sunday afternoon used to have matinee in that same little house.
boy, that
Um,
place was hot.
they used to have matinee in there. Yeah, so that
Mm,
was the first little community center, community hall kind of vibe,
right. That's what Sita raised all these children
Yeah,
from
my mother's
preschool.
preschool was in there as well. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That
And
those are memories because as a little boy, I
right.
used to go. Sita's school was associated with social
Social
center,
center.
so in the summer she used to go to workshops and they would
Mm-hmm.
teach them skills,
Mm.
how to make the letters. They just teach them rhymes and songs and craft, and
Mm.
she used to bring me with her.
So you could
And so I
you
would be
was the
the one that would
recorder.
I would be the recorder exactly. So when we come back, now
Oh my
I have a
God.
task now to help her to make all the art and
Mm.
craft that she learned and all the little
Wow.
stuff with
Okay.
the
So you've helped a lot, Mantoni.
popsicle sticks and
Mm-hmm.
cocoyer and all the different things. How to make a chart to put on the wall and all of those things.
Wow.
Yeah, so we used to go to workshop in social center. So that's how I know social center people. People like Norma Cyril, bless her soul,
Yeah,
she just
I
passed.
just see she passed. May
She
her soul
passed away a
rest in
couple of
peace.
weeks ago. Yeah,
Yes. Uh-huh.
yeah, I used to go down there with Sita and come back up.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Tony, did you see these silent movies? We saw Charlie Chaplin and these things.
No, that was maybe a little bit for me. What we used to have a lot of cowboy movies. They
Oh.
used to have a lot of cowboy movies when they used to come. And I remember one time they played is it Flowers in the Attic or something like that? It was like a love story and see make all those big men in the village cry. That because the customer coming there and they watching their cowboy and whatever and he
Right.
gas when the fight break out and
Right. But the
he
love
gas footy.
story touched them.
The one time they it's Basket of Flowers or Flowers in the Attic, something like that was the name of the movie.
Wow.
And it was a love story and they all the big men cry in the village because
Okay.
I think
But Tony, the Senhouse River,
mhm.
it's not too long I got to know, there was another research. Senhouse River was named after some man that owned Senhouse. That's how Senhouse got its name.
Mm. Yeah, that was his land,
James
right?
Senhouse, an Englishman, owned that place, and he named the river after him. You
After him.
understand?
Okay.
And
So that
also
uh-huh.
Fraser Mountain. You know the mountain
Right.
there?
By my Marquis up there, yeah.
Yes, another colonial named it after him. Those were just interesting to
Yeah,
me.
Mount Fraser. They still called
Montfrey.
Mount Fraser.
Yes,
And if you grow
yes.
up in the village, you know if you see the clouds coming from Fraser, you know it's going to rain.
It's good. You have
Like
to go and pick up the caco
you pick
outside.
up your
It's
car,
temp-
pick up your
yes,
clothes. If
yes.
you're playing cricket
Mm-hmm.
or football, you know, to cover the
Right.
pitch because the rain going. Once it gather up
Montfrey
by
turn
Mount
out
Fraser,
green.
you know
That's
it's going
it.
to rain. Yeah.
So
That's
Tony,
it.
after Lord Bono,
Uh-huh.
we go down to the where the old the CM churches. That was where the first house of the estate was established. So the man, the overseer could see the whole village and also the whole estate and also the ocean. So right
Yeah.
on that hill, the
From
Mount
that
Hill,
point, you could see
hill
everywhere in the village.
everywhere in the village.
Yeah.
So that's why the CM church, when I think Mr. Sobrooks,
Hmm.
it used to be called United Methodist Church at one point, and after the name changed to
Christian
Christian
Union
Union
Mission.
Mission. And I remember we used to go to Monday school. There was a lady we used to call her Sister Anthony, and we used to go to Monday school there. And
Mm.
below was the Methodist Church. That's where
Right.
everybody went to school,
Right. It's called an up school, right?
up school.
Up school. Right.
Right, and down school was where Mr. Marquis or had a little house or something.
Dong school was Choose eventually was living in that spot,
Right, in
right?
that
Right between
building,
Google in
right. It was it was Mr. Heath building, Mr. Heath Daniel
oh,
building.
that was his building. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I could recall that.
It used to be
But we
Dong
never
school.
talk about my brother though. My brother had all of the sweetie and all.
Yeah, make
Remember?
confetti and tablet
Coffee
and
tea,
everything. Yeah. Hmm.
everything was like we could get that by my brother, but
And
and
of
then
course, we cannot ignore Papi. When Papi came back and he built that house in Google and he established his supermarket, it's almost like,
before that, Papi had you see where the Pentecostal churches?
oh, okay, uh-huh.
Before that, Papi had his house there
Yeah,
and a
that
little
and a
shop,
local
a
shop.
store.
Okay.
And
Hmm.
then later on, he moved to Google and built a
That
supermarket. And
bill one, yeah,
that was big, eh?
that was huge.
That was
Everybody from
huge.
everywhere from Dominica used to
Everywhere.
come to Castle to
I
shop
go around Dominican. People still tell me they have a pressure cooker from
from
Papi. They
Papi.
have glasses that they bought from Papi. I myself have stuff at home that my mom bought from Papi.
Hmm.
And Papi was doing very well, but I don't know what went
As soon as he
wrong.
moved to Canefield, he
Yes,
lost the
everything. He lost
advantages. Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So, but
But he
something.
definitely contributed to the
Oh
economy
yes,
of
and
the village
he also ran as a
as a
politician.
politician. Yeah.
Right, but
Yeah.
his dream, he always says to me, he have to come back. He waiting for Lucille so they can come back to Castle Bruce to organize another supermarket. That was always his
His
dream
dream. Yeah.
to do
Hmm.
that again.
Yeah.
So Papi just rest where you know.
Dominicans know Papi as going around with his PA system announcing political stuff.
That's what they know.
But what we know of Papi is a very enterprising young man
Right.
that traveled, made some money, and came
Right.
back to his village and
He
contributed.
had a cargo plane and he
Yeah,
would buy produce from the Carolina, go down to to La Plaine, those areas there. And
right.
then he
And
would
take
go
it to
up
the
to
Virgin
St. Croix,
Islands,
sell it,
sell it,
and come back
and come
with
back with produce.
merchandise.
Yeah, very
And then
enterprising
people would
man.
come and pick their money up from, the sale of the produce. So
Hmm.
he did very well on that
Yeah,
level.
yeah. He was definitely
Okay.
a businessman and entrepreneur.
All right. So as we're
Yeah.
doing the tour, we're going on to Kaineg. I don't know if you know the significance of Kaineg.
That's where the slaves used to live, no?
Right. It's
Mhm.
right where my Felix have a horse in that area there.
Okay.
And then you go down because the first my mother always said to me, where the playing field is right now,
Hmm.
they used to call the Empire Field. When they were going to school, they used to have their games there during
Oh,
Empire
really?
Day.
Oh.
Yes. So sometimes
Mm.
I say history always repeats
Teach
itself because
itself.
remember the village was down there.
Right.
And when they bought the estate, the people scrambled and went up to Emsall and
And
Lodbourne
sand
and
house and
whatever, sent
jalousie and
out,
so on to
to
get away
build.
from the estate. Yeah.
Right,
Mm.
right. So and
I,
then as time went by, you have the boxing plants where
right.
farmers
And,
would
and the boxing plant is where they used to have the sugar mill
right, the
right
sugar mill
there
was
as well.
yeah, because they produce molasses. That's why they call the
Molasses.
place Sikwi. Most
Uh-huh.
villages you go to have a Sikwi. That is where they were making sugar,
Sugar. Hmm.
molasses and things. And if you look on the estate, there are large canals that would bring water to the mill.
To
If
the
you
mill.
go around where Antil was,
Until Farmers
yeah,
Cooperative,
yeah,
yeah,
you can see
they
the
had the
large drains.
trains coming through there bringing water.
Right, they were bringing
Uh-huh.
water to the mill.
Mm.
So there was a lot of activity there. And then you go up Bayfront. There was a cemetery right by Matutum House.
Oh,
Yes, there was a cemetery right there by the bayside.
okay.
Yeah, so even when I go back, I want to go and
It
explore
would be
it and
nice to go there and see.
see, yes,
Maybe
what if they still have a tomb.
maybe the church has records of who was buried there. I
Right,
wonder.
who
Yeah.
was buried there. And then you go back up. Wind blows after Hurricane Dave heavy. People
Hurricane
came
David.
down because wind blows a new settlement.
Right.
After the
Remember,
hurricane, people came back
people, their
down.
homes were destroyed. Mostly, a lot of them in
Hmm.
Jalousie.
Right,
They went down there and built after hurricane, and that's why they call it
right.
wind blow because it's a
Yeah,
settlement
the
that came
wind. They
back
say the
after.
wind that blew them there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how the name came out as wind. And then you go back to Guglu. So Guglu was always the center of the community. Any activity was in Guglu. Cricket was in Guglu. People just come to Google. It was a place I always say where relationships were formed and ended.
Hmm.
Everybody had their back key. That was the word they used at that time. Remember that word back key? They always saying girlfriend, that's my back key.
Yes.
So people would have their little back key and they would sit under you remember the tree? I don't know if you remember that, Tony, the power tree that used to be in the playground.
There was a poetry, yeah, and Masiam and them you sit down under there
Oh
and
my
watch
God.
cricket,
And they would
right?
dance when I sticks
Dance,
on our phone, they
yeah.
would dance to go down to the
Mm-hmm.
oh my God.
That was our
Everybody had a
pavilion.
chamber because the
Yeah.
roots were like chambers. So
Hmm.
people just claim chambers in the root of the plant. But
Right.
Google was the place to be. Everybody came to Google for everything. You could find anything there to eat, on a Sunday
On a Sunday.
afternoon.
Hmm. That
So
was the center of the
that would
village.
be our
Yeah.
village store.
That is where Reunion Village is going to be established. Right
Right,
there in
right in
Google.
Google.
Yeah. Hmm.
Hmm.
So that's it Tuesday, Jess. So the
That
Wednesday
that the Tuesday. The Wednesday, no, we have
is a
the
health day, right? Yeah.
health fair,
Right.
and also the even before the health fair we have a cardio jam.
Right. Early morning, go exercise, drink,
Right,
that
some
kind
of
of
us
a thing.
might go and walk, maybe go up to the stretch,
Right.
probably take a hike to the stretch, or if you want to make a ring around the village you can go up Lodbo and go down Sick and come back up.
Right.
So we have different groups will find ways of doing the hike.
So the cardio jam is at 5 a.m.
At 5,
Yeah.
yes. And then the health fair about 10.
Hmm.
And the visit to the elderly with little care packages for them.
Right.
So at in the evening we have an open mic. If you want to sing, if you want to do a poem, if you want to give a joke, if you want to just the mic will be there and you just come up to the microphone. I mean you have to register your name before. You don't people just to come out of order. So you register your name and then you come and do your do.
Yeah,
Because
the
the
reason to
classes are
register just because
silent.
the equipment will be there. Anybody can just come and interfere with the equipment.
No.
You have to officially get permission
Right, right.
but really and truly, folks, the way it will be set up is that when the stage is set up for the opening on Sunday, it's going to stay for the entire week. And so Reunion Village will not go to sleep. A Reunion Village is a place where people will hang out. There'll be vendors, we'll have food, we'll have stories, we'll play games, Reunion Village will just be a place where we touch each other
Yes, yeah.
constantly and interact with each other. So on the Wednesday we uh, we have Union Village. Don't forget we skip Tuesday night where we
We
have
skip the
the
oldie goldies.
Goldie
Yeah, this
night
group the
with
cadres, the yeah.
Compa. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we have the oldie goldies. And you want people to dress up, like the 70s and
Yeah,
80s.
in theme in
Come with your
70s,
bell
80s thing.
bottom, come with your
Exactly.
afro.
Yeah.
I remember of the days of boy. You know the guy we used to call boy days. These guys could dance, man.
Boy,
We
it
want you to
is.
come and dance,
With your bell bottom, right?
bell bottom,
Yeah.
and come and dance. These guys could dance. So just come because I don't think people know how to dance anymore, the way we used to do it.
Nowadays they twerk. I don't know if that equals
You
dance.
don't so we want you to come and rent a spot and just
Yeah.
dance the night away. So let's
And
get back to that.
as a little boy, I remember going to those dances because, um, and whether villages didn't have electricity, so when you're walking home in the darkness and you have a flashlight.
Hmm.
So what I remember is those men have their flashlight in their back pocket, and all you're seeing is the flashlight is not on, but because the flashlight is bulging out of their back pocket,
Uh-huh.
you all the walks they make in, you just seeing the flashlight switching from the.
Boy,
you,
I remember those days. We had to leave dance at 6 o'clock. You couldn't stay in dance longer than that. So by 6 o'clock, they used to have a house party. They used to call it. They
matinee
start
dance
around 2 o'clock,
at the
and then
two
when it's
o'clock is
six
also,
o'clock, oh my God,
and then adult dance start in the evening.
adult dance starting
Mm,
after.
after
Even for church, I remember we used to go to children's mass.
they are
Remember those
children's
days,
mass, and then
Tony?
they will have
And there'll be
adult
high
mass.
mass
Hmm.
later. Things
Yeah.
have changed, boy. So we on Thursday.
Yeah, yeah. On Thursday because we
Thursday is
spoke about the
we
open
have
mic.
a sports day.
Hmm.
It's going to start very early, so because we want to put on a number of sports like the lime and spoon, the needle and thread, the three-legged race, the bag race. We'll have dominoes and cards on the side.
With
We'll
a short
have a
rounders
little short
competition,
rounder, short
short
cricket,
cricket, yeah,
short no, we won't have basketball, but football
football,
because we don't have the
yeah,
facility for the basketball. So it
basketball.
will be a sport. It will be a grand occasion. So we want to invite everybody, to come and not just come and sit and watch, but to participate. We'd like to see different age group, like the elderlies, younger people. You want to have and children, a different mix of all, so everybody can say, feel satisfied at the end of the day. So that will be the sports day. Everything will be done in Sikwi Park. You know where that is? Sequi Park, close to the apartment building where the playground
Sweet.
is. That's our area for the sports day. And in the evening, we're gonna have the old time house parties. Remember those house parties, Tony?
Yep.
But let me tell you that there was a time in Castle there was a party called the Boucher Flair Party. Whoever takes the Boucher Flair would have the party the next time. I don't know if you remember
Oh, really? I
Sita,
don't remember that. No.
I'll tell you the lady. Your auntie, my Stafford,
Oh,
my
okay.
these people, I
Mm-hmm.
remember those days. Whoever took at the end of the party would take the book chair,
And you know
then
that's where
they,
the next party is going
the
to be.
next party would be
Mm.
at their
I didn't
home.
know that. Right.
So we're going to have the
So it's almost like a replay of that tonight now.
right, right, right. So we're going to do that.
So
Um,
parties people
so
will
we
be able to just
how
go.
many house parties are we going to have, Tony?
One in Jalousie, one in Sen House, and I think one in Sikri area. So three of them, I believe.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Although Jalousie might have two, but we're hoping that maybe we can combine them and just have one.
That
Because
one.
they
Okay.
were going to have one over in Dark End by
Oh.
Malcolm Abraham, and then we'll have one by the Bannisses by Lauren and them. But
Mm-hmm.
um, we're trying to we're suggesting maybe to combine it and just have one in Jalousie, one in
And one in
Sentinel,
Sentinel.
and
So,
one in
because the
Sentinel.
one we were supposed to have up Sentinels, we're going to have it down three corners.
We'll combine with the guys in Friconas and
Right,
just
in
do
three
one. Yes.
corners.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's for the house parties. Friday. Friday, we have the financial literacy session. Why we are having it there? Because we want it to be special. Sometimes I'm saying, if we had known about money, all we know about money is to have our money and spend it. but not invest in it. So we have persons like Mr. Lambert, who is from Castle Bruce, Elisha Nation, who is also from Castle Bruce, to talk about money management, debt, and credit
Yeah.
management.
And if you want to do a
Also
little
the
business, how you go about managing your money for your
right,
business
we'll
and
have
stuff.
the
Yeah.
credit union, not yeah, NCCU rep
NCCU.
as well
Hmm.
at that session. And in the evening, we have the awards dinner and dance with swinging stars. So we're going
Yeah.
to award some persons in the community who have made great contribution to Castle Bruce. So they will be awarded
I
as
have
a
the
token.
categories just if I can run quickly through them.
Go them, go
Um,
ahead.
there's community, there's culture, entrepreneurship, health and wellness, education, religion, sports,
Hmm.
agriculture, fishing, youth achiever. I think that's it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. So youth achiever, fishing, agriculture, sports, religion, education, health and wellness, entrepreneurship, culture, and community.
Okay.
We'll be giving out awards in
Because
those
yeah,
categories.
that would be good. What I always say, we can continue. Everybody cannot get an award, but if every year we have, we won't have a reading every year, but we can have a little award ceremony every year
Ceremony.
to award, other persons in the community. But it has to be a sustained effort by persons, interested in community development.
Yes.
Can I
Yes.
move to Saturday, Tony?
For sure. Except I mean the banquet, do you have the dinner and banquet,
Oh,
which is like local people like to dress up. Um I will tell you one time I have a friend and we were talking in Rose and she said, Cassius people think they all that. They always dress up. You have two sisters, they teachers, And when you see they come down on month end to get their salary, those girls dress up like you think it's New York they come out. My
ooh, they
sister,
like to dress up. They like to dress up.
she talking about, Maggie and
Oh,
Sophie.
oh,
She don't know it's my sister.
oh my
So the
God.
Friday night gives us the opportunity to dress up,
Yeah, to show it. And the color will be black and
black
gold.
and gold. Yeah, definitely.
Right,
Mhm.
that's our dinner color, black and gold.
So let's talk about
Okay,
Saturday then.
folks.
Mhm.
So some of you may want to just pay for the dinner or pay for the dance or pay for both.
Both,
So
yeah.
there's something that will happen for you.
Yeah. So the dinner and dance is $100. The dinner by itself, I think, is $60. And if
Mm-hmm.
you only go into the dance, it's $40, something like that.
Right, right. So the prices will be there.
Hmm.
Okay, Tony, we get in there. Saturday, we have the Juve, and that will be a Juve with a blast. We call it Pijaman Powder, PNP. So we come in our pajamas, you waking up from your sleep in your pajamas. You go straight down to
No, no, Jess,
Google.
we have to be careful with that. Casual people are bad ways. Your pajama is how you go to sleep, not how you wake up.
Oh, how you
Okay?
go to sleep?
How you
Okay,
normally go to sleep. That's how you want people to show up for the juve.
right.
You cannot
Okay,
tell
okay.
casual
I
people
had
come
it the
how they.
other way
You
around.
cannot tell people the casual people, especially to show up how they wake up in the morning, because you'll be in trouble.
How you
You
go to sleep?
how you go to sleep. Yeah,
Okay, so it will be pajama and powder,
pajama and
and the
powder.
labo cabwit will be with us, right?
Yes, lapo cabrit for
Okay.
sure.
Uh-huh. So you might also have a contemporary session. Some people may not want to put pajama, but they want to put it, so they'll be in another group.
Well, they can come
And
how they want, but actually, if you come with your pajama, you wouldn't feel out of place. But if you enjoy the music, you come.
yes, but what we're
Yeah,
saying, you could have two
but
sections. You have all the pajama, the nighty people together, and then you have the
and
contemporary people.
the straddlers can follow and enjoy the music anyway.
Right, right.
Okay,
So, but we want to feature the pajamas.
right.
Okay. So that is for the Juve. And from the Juve, from Google to Sikwi and back, we fall right into the market day. So there you
Right.
can come and get your
Jelly water, your sauce, your fonchin, your
your
cocotie, your
kalaloo.
bakes, everything
Right,
for your morning.
right.
Yeah. If
Okay.
if you drink a little bit for the juve, you can come freshen up with a nice
Right, right. So
grapefruit
that's the
juice
market.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so that will be the market day. So we are
Hmm.
telling the vendors there's a meeting on Tuesday at the health center. So if you want to vend during the reunion, you need to go and get your, what do you call that, your
Because
food
there's a
handling.
process to get your food handlers, and so you have to
Uh-huh.
do your tests and all of those things.
Right.
So
So,
what we've organized is for if you want to be a vendor and you don't have your food handler's license, you go to the health center on Tuesday, and
mm-hmm.
the relevant
EHO,
authorities will be
EHO.
there. The DHO will be there to help
Mm-hmm.
you in that process, because if you don't have your food handler's
You
license,
cannot vend on the
you will
day.
not be allowed to vend on that during the week.
During the
Yeah,
week, yeah.
during the week. Yeah.
But Tony, on the Saturday we have a broth competition. Tell us
BRAF
about that
competition.
now.
So the BRAF competition is, you know, Cassius would like to think they can cook. Well, we used to make a BRAF. I will tell you that, you know, I, Vermit and them and those guys, BRAF is a traditional thing in Cassius.
It is, it
we
is.
we would catch a laser and go make a broth with laser. If
Wow.
we have fish, so then we'd go early morning, go shoot, and they would get fish. We make a broth with
Make a
fish.
broth.
When we don't get anything else, we buy salt fish in the shop and we make a broth. So broth
Yeah,
is like
we love broth. We
we
love
love
not
broth,
broth
yeah,
now. We like broth.
broth, right? And so a few folks who think that their broth is better than other people's broth, you can register, and your broth will be judged,
Yeah,
and after your broth is judged, you can
you can sell your broth.
sell your
I
food or
want to
give it to your
compete because
friends
I
or
can
whatever.
do. I like to do good fish broth. So
You see, just
I'll be
think,
competing.
yeah, all castles who think they can cook broth.
I'm good. I'm good at cooking broth.
Yeah, so we have a
Everybody
broth
like my broth,
competition.
Tony.
And in the same time, too, we'll be encouraging the vendors who want to roast breadfruit. So not only
Right.
we'll have the official BRAF competition, but we're hoping that folks will roast breadfruit and have the saltfish and smoked herring,
Ready.
and
Yeah.
yeah, just and so that's how people will get their lunch that day. You
Right.
just buy a BRAF or
Even
buy
your
a
roast plantain.
rice roast plantain. So you just buy your little food, traditional food, from the vendors on that Saturday.
Right, right. And we really want people to support the vendors that are, coming out to make
Hmm.
the effort.
Yeah.
And that evening, we will end the evening with our international star,
But
and ecstasy band, and that is the Lord Breaker.
we'll have a big show, Casarus musicians. It will be headlined by I would say the most famous Casarus musician, Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
For those young people that don't know, he sing "Pray for the Black Man." When you hear that Mother's Day song, that popular Love
Oh,
Mother's Day
my
song,
mama,
that's
my mama, my
right.
mama.
Lovely Dominica is from
Mm.
them.
Right,
There's a whole bunch of, and then he was also Calypso King a couple of times.
right. I think
So
twice,
yes, he has
twice.
some popular songs that has stayed with us throughout the
Mm-hmm.
years. So he'll be our headline.
Ma John
Not
Levy,
John
mettez
Levy,
ma
but
oui, moi de wo.
exactly.
So I was
All of it.
talking to my brother Glenn before I left. I'm in
Uh,
Dominica, folks. I'm home already. I'm home for the reunion. I'm
Reunion
right
already,
here in
right?
Dominica.
Yep.
So I was talking to Glenn and I was telling him about the event, and he was surprised. He said, "Me Breaker." I said, "Yes, all these songs were sung by Breaker." He didn't even know that. He said, "Me
Did
knows the
nothing.
song. He loved the songs."
Uh-huh.
And he did
Castle
not
Bruce.
know they were done by Breaker.
Lauren is
So,
telling us Point Michelle girls. Point Michelle girls have
right,
the
because
fame and sweet
Bingo
feet,
and they were
sweet
in
in
the
the
same
ways.
band. They were in the
Yeah.
same band.
That's
So
Gaylord's,
that
yeah.
will be our and the Estes, what do you call it?
Ecstasy band, ecstasy
Ecstasy
band.
band will
Yeah.
be. So that's going to be a big evening. We want
Big
everybody.
evening.
I mean, want all people from around Dominica to come support, especially within that age group. They haven't heard that for a long time. The likes of Greg Brecker. So we want to invite everybody from around Dominica to be in Castle Saturday night. It's going to be a grand, grand affair. I mean, I'm excited. I'm looking forward.
Definitely. And then, of
Mhm.
course, the culmination, the celebration of Fête Castlebrus,
Oh.
Chenzaou,
Mm-hmm.
15th of August, which is Castlebrus
Mm-hmm.
Feast. All Castlebrus people used to live for that day. You enjoy Christmas, you enjoy
You're right.
Carnival, you enjoy what, but if you're from Castlebrus, you're looking forward to August
Coachella Wu.
for Chenzaou, August 15th. Definitely.
Yeah. So
That
in
used to
my,
be, and not just from Castlebrus, all of them, when
Mhm.
Castlebrus had 20 trucks, all
Oh my
25 of
God.
them would be in Castle Bruce. We used to have
Oh my
traffic jam in
God.
Castle Bruce when
Oh my God. But the next thing
everybody.
I'm saying to people, Castle Bruce, when you come to Castle Bruce, parking is not a problem.
Yeah,
You have different roads, a network in the village. Parking is not. I go to communities and I'm saying, but where we going to park? But when you come to Castle Roost, no problem. You can park from Sikwi, you can park on the Carib Territory Road, you can park in Lodboy, you can park on the Shaluzy Road. So parking is not a problem. Don't say you come in and you don't know where to park. Parking is not a problem. So Castle Roost, is good at that. For the Sunday, and I ran into Johnson Drago yesterday, Tony, and he said
Mhm.
to me, we preparing for the church service, So we want the church service to be in Creole, most of
Creole.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and people to wear the national dress. If
Hmm.
you do have a national dress and you have an African dress, you wear that. We want people
Yeah.
to come, colorful. It has to be a
Hmm. Hmm.
colorful event.
Definitely.
And for the church service, I think we're going to parade. We don't just go inside church, we're going to start by the bus stop. Everybody gather there, and then we take our song and we go down, you know?
No, definitely. And when I spoke to the scout leader, Kenrick, he told me the
Mhm.
scouts are practicing for that as well.
Oh, great,
Scouts
great.
and the guys. So we have. Remember, we used to have those parades with the
Oh
scouts
my
parading,
God.
and then we go to
Yes.
church
I
and
mean,
all
I
that.
was a guide
With
and
with
I was a
Mr.
Red Cross.
Raphael,
We always had those
the
events,
matches and
the
So
marching,
it will be
yes.
that
So that would be
definitely.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, Tony, the last lap, no, from the church service, you'll have food on sale. The church itself wants to raise some funds so people can support, their
Hmm.
tent, their bar. And then we have a little expo
Right.
at the end. Not at the end, no, it could be set up. Maybe it could be set up since Friday. But we want to show traditional tools, and we are asking people who have stuff that they want to showcase, old time things and even modern things. People want to bring up their pepper sauce, they want to bring up their honey, they want to bring up their cassava, that's well packaged. They want to make their castor oil. You bring those
Just
things
bring it
to
and
the
put it on display,
expo
and if you
and
have
put
enough
on
to sell, you
display.
will
You can
sell.
sell it or
Yeah.
whatever.
Hmm.
So I'm looking forward to that. And there's this guy, Joseph Gis, he has, tons of
Excuse me.
stuff. So
Right.
he has agreed. He said to me, the Viewmaster needs some reels, so I'm going to get that for him to put it.
Yeah,
And when you say
insert
about
ready
the
this.
Viewmaster, some people did not know what a Viewmaster is, So
Right.
I'm at some of them, oh, they Google it, and they started laughing. I said, yeah, that's what. Well, when our family came from St. Croix, the children had this Viewmaster coming to school, so the father came from St. Croix,
Yeah.
or something like
So they
that.
charge you 5 cents to see, and you
Private
see
school.
the stories, Snow White or whatever
Disney
it is,
stories, yeah.
knock on the beanstalk. As you scroll through the little
Right,
stories
those
and the
were the
movies of
days,
Viewmaster.
yeah.
Yeah,
Tony, so
just
what the bands for the night, for Sunday?
so we have Midnight Groovers confirmed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, we were sup- supposed to have Triple K, but Triple K I think is going to be in France that weekend. But we're
Oh,
looking to do like a chubby and a cadass kind of
event.
event, and with a big song system as well. But we
Mm-hmm.
will definitely have a strong last lap. We Serenade band as well approach us, so Serenade most likely will be part of that Sunday event. So we
Okay.
just have a big jam because when people
Yeah.
come to Castlebrus on Friday people come to Castlebrus for the swinging stars dance. Excuse me. They wouldn't go back home until Sunday night, Monday morning,
Oh,
because
great,
from
great.
from Castlebrus from Friday we had the banquet and the dance. Saturday we in Juve. We have
Mm-hmm.
the all day event. We had the Castlebrus Stars action on Saturday night. Sunday we into Creole Mass. I know they're organizing a car show. Um, and so that will take place in the middle of the day, so it wouldn't interfere too much. But the expo will be going on as well, and then from about 4 or 5 o'clock, we have last lap where we have
Last
the
lap, yeah.
from Friday after from 4 in the afternoon. We have Chubby. We're hoping to have Serenade. We're hoping to have a couple more of the Kadas, local Kadas,
Mm-hmm.
beyond people. We want to be more family friendly, so we'll stay away from the nasty business um, artists, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it has its place. It doesn't have. I don't think nasty business has a place in our reunion. I might take some flack for that, but It's a family.
We said in
It,
our
it,
Morocco.
it has the word family in there,
Right,
and
family and
nasty
friend, the
business
children,
definitely not
everybody.
family friendly.
Yeah.
So
So,
but we work that Kadas bouillon night.
so the nasty business, don't they have clean versions of your song?
Well, we have bouillon and you have
Mm-hmm.
nasty business.
Oh,
So
okay,
we
I
can have
get you, I
bouillon,
get you.
which is good, but you know,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. Well,
it,
I'm old school, so I don't know much
yeah.
about.
If there is a private dance or private party and adults are in there and people want to do
Okay,
we have nothing against that. But in
okay.
terms of the official program where we're
Right,
inviting people to
right.
come with their children and
Kids,
their
yeah,
kids
family
and
time.
whatever it is, we have to be a little more
Mm-hmm.
sensitive to people's sensibilities.
Okay.
You know. So
Yeah.
so that's it, folks. I mean, it sounds so packed.
It's
Um,
bags.
it's packed, but it's a week of activities that you're going to need a week to recover from, and
Right, right.
everybody is invited. Everybody is
Everybody from
invited,
all around
all around.
Dominica.
Yeah, and you know,
Yeah,
Casual people are so Casual people have spread out, and and for personalities, there's a little Casualus in everybody in Dominica. You know.
right. We
Yeah.
I want to say good night to. She says she's coming to Constables. I have not met her. Her name is She's a traffic air traffic controller. Banis from Portsmouth. I
Oh.
want to say good night to you, Alifa, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in Constables because you promised you're going to come up. We don't know you. We want to know you.
Definitely, she come Casual. She's going to feel right at home.
She'll be at home. She's
She
she's
right
a
there.
Banis, so she'll
She's
be
a
welcome.
Banis. You know, Castlebus
Yeah.
is Banisville and Lockettville and
Right. Look
yeah,
at
yeah,
look at.
yeah,
Those are
yeah.
the prominence.
We're
But
very close.
you know the Banises, people think we came, the Banises came from Castlewood, the Banises came from Pay Bush
Right.
to Castlewoods. So that's how, we are, because
But they hardly have Banis.
The man
They
had
hardly
20
have Banises.
children.
He had how many?
I conquer 18, but the lady told me they were like 22.
22. Okay. In
Bobby
Castlebus.
Banis. Mm-hmm.
Bobby Banis. He
Mm-hmm.
passed Castlebus like a windbrush.
Yeah, but yeah, he said he got married at one point. He had six children mother, six baby mama.
Yeah.
So
That's what the life was at the time, you know.
yeah, he didn't have electricity. I tell people there was no electricity.
And Castlebus
So
people always like a good time.
oh
Can't
my
help
God.
it, like a good
But
time.
Tony,
So
in your family, they said they would dance for 3 days by Macaco,
yeah.
in your grandmother's house.
They'll have a party for 3 days.
Yes, 3 day party. They want Macaco open 3 days party. So that's why the Dragos they love to dance. The Dragos could dance. That's where they got it.
Definitely, definitely. I
Right.
can believe that. You know,
Okay.
I didn't
Yeah.
meet. Unfortunately, I didn't meet any of my paternal grandparents.
Wow. Well, I met my
Maka-
grandmother, my grandfather.
I met Dada. That's the only one. My mother's mother is
Oh.
the only that
Mm-hmm.
because again she lived to be um
107.
107. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alex Banis is saying that was a great her great grandfather. Mr. Kako, yeah, definitely Alex. But
Sakako.
he was my grandfather, but I didn't meet him.
Oh.
No, that
Alex is listening.
Alex is on, yes,
Oh my God. Good night, Alex.
yeah, and Eddie say dry goes like a fet.
Oh my God. They have peer show.
Yeah, pay show, definitely. I remember going by Mr. Mado and seeing my father on the dance floor. Why, yeah,
Oh, China could dance, Tony.
yeah, serious man otherwise, but when he in a dance,
Yeah,
he
he could
was jovial,
dance.
definitely. Yeah,
Especially the traditional dance, the belly
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was a dancer. He was a dancer.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That they learn that at the home by Macaco.
Mema Kako.
Mm-hmm.
She was a party lady. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So just
Okay.
I think if after this we have anybody that's still hesitating about the reunion, something wrong with them. So they definitely need to come so they can get some healing.
Right.
Folks, all roads, all
Race to
roads lead
Castle
to
Bruce.
Casper's. Billy Sanderson is there. Billy, welcome. We're
Oh,
looking
Billy,
forward to
Billy.
your your session at the symposium. Investing in agriculture. I think is the topic you'll be talking on.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know, Casper's is just a wonderful, wonderful place. When you hear the story
I love that place.
of the revolution on the estate, where Casper's farmers take on the biggest colonial powers and
Mm-hmm.
took over the land from them, you will understand what we're talking about.
And Tony, after that followed Geneva
Geneva
and Picard.
and
And out
Rosalie,
of
all
that
of that.
thing, you had the farmers union, you had the farm to market, you
Right.
had the it was the trade union by Jemaat. Yeah. All this
Yeah.
came because of the activity of the 70s.
In
And
70s.
I'm a proud Casabrician.
And I have a documentary, a video documentary from that time, from 1972, that I will feature at the reunion. That shows, like, my uncle Stafford, who used to
Mm-hmm.
be the rep for Castlebrooks at the time. I remember when he died, I was very, very young. I have him
Okay.
on in that video. I have Mr. Lewis um, talking about, what we're doing is not just agriculture, it's an education. That's his words. And he says,
Right, right.
2 months ago, I could not stand up in front of you and talk. Right now, I can stand in front of anybody and make my case and present my case. And when you see that kind of, those videos, I have the documentary.
We,
And,
we
and,
would love to see that
and
again.
we're going
Yeah.
to play it. And we have Mr. Dina with his
Mm.
axe cutting on a big
Tree.
tree. No, it looks like a wadiab tree, and
Oh.
fascinating. They wanted to do a vegetable plot in Modest, and the water was not close. They had to carry the water up the hill, and Mr. Lewis and them cut bamboo and
Oh, and the other,
created
yeah, bring the water.
a piping system. I think maybe it's from
Mm.
Formia or from wherever the water is,
Maybe for
over
me.
a mile away. They did that pipe in bamboo and brought water to their
Water.
vegetable plots so they could water their vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
1972, I have all that
Well, I think the
on tape.
young children would love to see that because they
Fascinating
have
to see
no
that. Yeah, yeah,
conception of
yeah. See,
how they are where they are today. So
definitely. And the
that
role
would
that
be
people like
great.
Afi Mate, Ilwa
Mhm.
Sylvester, um, and all of those people played in that thing.
Oh yes.
Excuse me. And
No matter, no work. Remember the
no matter no
slogan?
work, they went on strike. Yeah, 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 yeah. And so we are strong people that
Yeah.
who have survived and have fun while we do it.
Oh
And
yes.
yeah, so just I'm going to go and let the audience go. We've been at it
Yes,
for an
yes,
hour
yes.
and a
I
half.
want to say thank you for for them listening, and then just spread the word. People who are still don't have made up their mind. Just tell them let's just go to
Just come.
Dominica.
And I think there was a little misunderstanding as well, because we did a week pass where you said that you could purchase a pass that gives you access to all the paid
Access.
activities for the week. And some people interpreted that to mean that you had to pay for the reunion. And while we encourage you to make contribution, you you have to pay for anything to be in the reunion. If you When you can
No,
come to the reunion and the activities that you have to pay to enter, like if
right. If
there's
you
a
want to go to
dance,
3 years.
and so on, the things, because we have to pay the band, we have to pay the
Oh no,
artists, and so on.
yeah.
So you can buy your individual ticket to attend what you want to
You
attend.
want to attend,
So
yes.
I wanted to clarify that there is not a registration fee for the reunion. The reunion is free for everybody to just come.
But you have to pay for the events that you want to go to.
Particular events, you can pay for it. Yeah, and if you
Anthony,
wanted
I
to,
want to
we can
say to those people who are not coming to the reunion, they can still make a contribution,
exactly.
to the reunion
Yeah,
because we have expenses.
yeah.
So you cannot come to Dominica or Castlebrooks.
May- yeah,
Let
donate a
someone know you
$50,
want to
donate a
make a
$100.
contribution.
There's a
Right.
couple Cassius people. I think one plus two of them. One person donated $1,000 or something like that. Yeah,
And yet
no,
one
yeah,
person told me that they want to make a contribution to the reunion.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
do
So
have Miss
we have a account at the National Bank. It has more banking activity, and we have online as well where you could buy stuff. So we'll publish those information. Go on on the page, Castlebrooks Reunion 2025 Facebook page, and you will you know. And if you, it's not too late to fill out the registration form, just so we know who's coming. And
Yeah,
if
we
you
can
need
have
us
a
to
heads up.
arrange pick up at the airport for you, if you want to know what housing may be available, just register and send a text to me or to Jess or anybody, Look at the flyer. The numbers are on the flyer. You can send a text to those numbers, WhatsApp or otherwise, and we'll get you the information. But don't let anything like that stop you from coming. You're very, very welcome to come. And even if you don't want to go to the activities for whatever, maybe your family is huge and it's a little tight to go to all of them, there'll be enough activities
Yeah, you can go too.
that you can attend to still have
Mhm.
the best of times that you can have at the reunion. So, just if you want to close, we can say some final words to close up.
Well, I mean, we have said a lot, and we just want people to. It's not too late, to consider, but we want to see you in Castle Bruce. I'm here already. I'm in Dominica already. So I want you to join me as we celebrate this third edition of the Castle Bruce Family and Friends Reunion. So have a good evening, everybody.
Good evening, and just thank you so much for taking it. Save, do eat all the mangoes, save some mangoes
And
and
guavas
guavas, right?
and breadfruit.
All my favorite
I'm
stuff.
having a good time. I'm having a good time.
Awesome, awesome,
Okay.
awesome. All right then.
All
Good
right.
night. All
Good
right.
night, Tone. Good night.
Yeah. Mhm. So, folks, there you have it. The Casabras family and friends reunion. I was made in Casabras, so they cannot be that bad, right? I was made in Casabras. Made in Casabras. If you go in my, wherever the tag is, and you pull out the tag, it will say made in Casabras. Manufactured, I guess, or something like that in Casabras. But the Casabras family and friends reunion is going to bring you back to the east coast of Casabras. Um, I mean, one of the most spectacular views that you will get is to stand by the preschool around where Reunion Village is, and to watch the moon rise over the islets in Gasparus. When you see that, you never forget that view. It's like you can reach out and just touch the moon. It's right there close to you. The sunrise are also great as well, but I have a strong memory of seeing that huge moon rising above the iconic islets in Gasparus. And there's just so much to do, so much to see. There's fresh rivers to bathe in. There's fresh fruits. There's food. The people are warm, and you can just have a really, really, really great time, for sure. So make up your mind to come. Make up your mind to come to Gasparus Family and Friends Reunion from August 10th to the 17th under the theme C'est Place Nous. It's our place, but we're quite willing to share it with you, and you can choose to make it your place. All right. So, folks, I'm going to say good night. Oh, remember to check out the um, the virtual literary festival that is scheduled for September 15th to the 20th. That will be great as well. We will be featuring, Jess has a book I think that she wants to release or highlight during the reunion. And there's somebody else that has a book. I don't know why it's slipping me as well, but we have a couple books that's being released at that time as well. Um, so you don't want to miss it. It's a whole week of activities. But if you come on Friday, plan to stay there for the entire weekend. So good night, folks, and enjoy the rest of the week. And we will see you again next week, Wednesday. I have a brand new book on tap for us to go into next Wednesday. Brand new writer. Um, I think you'll enjoy it. It's by a young lady, and wonderful. I'm doing a lot of books this season, and it will culminate in this virtual writers, virtual literary festival. So if you do poems, you do prose, you do short stories, you do long stories, you do novels, you do nonfiction, whatever it is that you write. You have a compilation of love letters, put it in, let's go. You're going to enjoy the camaraderie and the culture. And with Dominica, we have a strong culture of storytelling, but we have to use the means that we have to document them so we don't lose it, because it might oral traditions are a blessing, but they can be easily lost as well. So, folks, go in and buy your ticket if you haven't, and head for Dominica for Casabras Family and Friends Reunion, August 10th to the 17th. I'll see you there. Good night, folks.